Hello, Proxy Table Gaming fans. You're joined by the Gobbo for the Goblins Grotto Hobby Show. We have Scabfat.
Hello.
Hello again. How are you?
I am content.
Good.
With the
content.
With the day's proceedings. Yeah.
Good. And welcome back, Marmaduke.
Hello, and thank you for having me back. It's very generous of you.
Here we go for round 2. Okay. So today is the Swirling Melee, guys. So to win any battle, you must fight as if you were already dead. Lovely.
That feels like advice that your older brother gives you when you're play fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no, you just got to lay on the ground. Just pretend to be dead.
Yeah. Whilst he's then also going, stop hitting yourself. Yeah.
Okay. So coming up in this episode, we have a quick hobby update. We then have some social media hobby heroes. And we have a new segment, which is called Another Age, Another... which I'm really excited for you guys to see. Okay. So first off is hobby update. So we're going to start with Scabfat.
Oh, me?
What have you been doing?
I have been quite busy. So, what are we now? It's start 2023. Towards the end of 2022, I kind of fell into this ravine of busyness because I run my own YouTube channel, Explorers of Elsewhere, and we wrapped up a 2-year Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
That's awesome.
So there was a lot of additional prep to kind of to sort out the finale and everything that kind of went with that, and massive labor of love on my part, and massive kind of participation and willingness to put up with my nonsense from all my players. Episode 44 on YouTube was like the finale. There was we did a few. Well, we did a wrap up. I've done a number of one shots since then.
Was that the live episode?
This one was the Explorers Elsewhere's first premiere to watch this as it went live. It was good. If you want to watch a grown man in his 30s cry for an extended period of time, then you should watch this video. It was good. I'm so happy that we did it. What was on the channel was actually only the second half of the campaign because we started offline before we went online. So it's a lot of hobby time spent doing that, and prepping everything for the new campaign, which
definitely
will be starting next month in February. I think handily I've timed it pretty much to start when I'm my most busiest with Art of War.
Perfect.
I think
time.
That's pretty much how it pans out. Yeah.
Nice.
How many people are in the gang?
So it's myself as the dungeon master or games master. At most there were like 6 players.
Yeah.
So the seven of us gaming in total. With these one shots that we've been running, I've got there's a total of 6 one shots with 13 players spread amongst those one shots.
Wow.
And then when we start the new campaign, it'll be myself and 5 players. We're on track to have 5 players. So busy.
Really good.
Even though they're one shots, do the players tend to play the same characters, or do they sort of do completely different characters to mix it up for themselves?
So for these one shots in particular, they're complete, like none of them are D&D. Because I've done so much, like Dungeons and Dragons is a primary game, but we've got we opened with a game called Goblin Quest, which was near and dear to my heart. Where everyone controls like 5 goblins, and you all have a very simple task, and no one's expected to survive.
Brilliant. I love it.
And so Hyper G and Lucky Sixes are due to star in a Fallout RPG that will be running.
Cool.
That'll be a two-parter. There's one game called Honey Heist where you're an international heist criminal, but you're also a bear. You're also a bear. One of my favorite ones from the bunch is it's called Sorcerer Supreme, and you know how like in the Harry Potter films, or books, you have a bunch of like incompetent wizards that always try to use really complicated magic to do the most simple and mundane of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is a game about that.
Nice,
excellent.
So yeah, you are the incompetent wizards, and you've got to try and pronounce all of your magic words correctly, and you inevitably will not.
And then, are there consequences to not pronouncing things correctly?
Oh, you better believe there is. Yeah, that's those consequences are what keeps the game going. But yeah, it's just, I wanted to stretch my legs a little bit, have a little bit of fun, have a bit of variety, before jumping back into new campaign, which will be homebrew, built from the ground up, everything from scratch. Looking forward to it. It does mean I haven't got time to paint toy soldiers though. So
yes,
but
you're also running a tournament, so it's kind of
there's that.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, busy
from
bee.
someone who's not a Dungeons and Dragons fan, watching your channel is actually I really recommend it. So again, the planning and preparation that you go into, and the depth and emotion that your characters bring, I think it's really, really clever. So even from while I'm sitting there painting, I sometimes have it on in the background, just listening to it, and it's just an interesting story, and it's really good to see how it's progressed over the year.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I'm happy that we managed to finish it. I'm happy that it's finished. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Like we do it because we love playing it, and if anyone else is interested and gets some form of joy out of it, then that's a big thumbs up in my book.
Awesome.
Oh, good effort. Brilliant.
Cool. Marmaduke, hobby update.
Oh, that's me. So these are worry my centaurs, which I was making, had made because part of my beast herds, and they are made out of. They're basically the Marauder, the Games Workshop Marauder riders.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, there's a man on a horse. Wait, I can combine both of these. and like the crazy, like some Dr. Moreau type figure that I am, I decided to do just that. And I kit bashed them into centaurs. Because also, oh, thank you. Well, I mean, the idea is pretty sort of simple. With a lot of green stuff and a load of chaos bits from a bits box, I just slapped all of that on to try and make it sort of fairly believable. The also because my list was really needing one more scoring unit. So this is sort of like they're all been modelled, been undercoated, and I was at the point at this point was putting on the just sort of the base colours.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the whip of them.
They're coming on nicely, mate. Again, I think the Marauder horses are some of my favourite like horse-based models for GW.
Yeah, they are very well sculpted. They just look great. They're very well portioned. And I think that they could. I think they go across different game systems. I think they also go across different armies as well. You know, they could appear in I think you could have them in an elf army, if you wanted something a bit grittier or a bit sort of heavier set
Some
for
Dread Elf Riders or something.
definitely.
yeah, absolutely. Or even Wild Riders as well, sort of like a heavier set bounding through the forest.
Looking at these reminds me of a little thing I saw about centaurs recently that pointed out that like a baby horse, like a foal, can learns to run and gallop within like hours of birth, but a human infant can't control its own body, like can't control its own arms and weight for like years.
Yep.
So the idea of a baby centaur that's galloping around with this child's torso just like flapping around. Fantastic.
I also can't decide if they were to wear leggings or tights, quite where they would go. But I think that's a choice for them.
Do centaurs have two stomachs? Because they've got two rib cages. Dun, dun, dun.
It's nuts. Yeah. No, looking really good, mate, and I can't wait to see them finish.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
You brought them to the one day, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, it took to one day. They are 400 points of flimsy awesomeness. But
awesome.
I tell you what, they're fun though. And they've become, because I think they just look great and I like, when it comes to modeling, I like different levels of miniatures, so I like infantry, I like mounted miniatures, I like, I like things on cork, bit of cork, boom.
Cool, mate.
They're cool, mate.
And I think they just they fitted very well thematically in there. So
brilliant. Oh dear.
Yeah, what have you been up to, you little oik?
Yeah, oik. So after Cardiff, where I finished my goblins, I decided I wanted more trolls in my army. So got these funky little things from Archvillain Games. These are going to be my Big Brother giants because they're quite big trolls. Again, they're foresty trolls. They're quite Nordic looking as well, so they'll fit in lovely. So I'm starting to print them at the moment.
So that one there, he does very much, and obviously all of these things were made separately and come out separately. He looks very much like the troll from the Netflix movie Troll, which came out in December last year.
Yes, it does.
Which is sort of like very Nordic thing, which is really cool. I mean, that thing was also 150 foot tall as well. So
yep, slight scale up.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I've been planning on doing. And then there's this.
When you showed me this picture, like you sent me this picture, and I stopped and went, what on earth is... Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh,
no. What?
Oh, no. We're not done.
We're not done.
We're not done, Marmaduke. We're not done.
Doing... Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it already.
Wheeled, wind-powered longboats for his chariots.
Oh my gosh!
I really want a unit of 4 wolf chariots, but I don't like the wolf models that are currently available.
Yeah, that's
and they don't really fit with the theme of the goblins that I have at the moment, which are the ramshackle, labyrinthian looking goblins.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not? Let's get some long ships on wheels.
This is brilliant.
So that's the idea that I'm going to go with, and I'm going to run with it because it's just cool. So my unit, that's a unit coming in this year. I'm going to get that printed and built, and I just love it. I think it's so
cool. I was always enamored with like the Snotling pump wagon and the idea that you just have like, a dozen of these little green snotlings just hanging off every part of the pump wagon.
Exactly.
And I guess in my head, the movie in my head pictures that sort of thing where you've got sort of like a goblin up the rigging, and another one at the prow, and another one sort of like down by the keel, and just sort of all over. Oh man, yeah,
Exactly.
that's exciting.
So that's a unit that I've started modelling and getting ready to print.
Brilliant. Great.
And then I wanted a gargantula, but I don't really like spiders, to be honest. So I thought, why not a giant stag beetle? So got this chappy. So again, this is Mini Monster Mayhem, which is just amazing again. So I love all the different barrels and all the packages and all the things that my Goblin King is going to have acquired over his many raids. And I'm going to stick him on his throne in the middle of it. It's going to be amazing.
That's great, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, that Howder is just perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're going to have all the different goblins in there sticking their bows out and everywhere. And yeah, the size of it's huge. So it's going to fit lovely on a base.
Yeah, like form-wise, that'll fit really well on a 100 by 150 mil base.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want there to be. I just want there to be a sequel to A Bug's Life now, and I just want this. I want this to appear in it.
Exactly. Okay, social media hobby heroes. So these are actual people that have done hobby now, as well as you, Andy. Highland painting. I can pronounce that one. Look at that.
Brilliant. Yeah, love it.
One of the best stone trolls ever made.
Yeah, classic.
Love it. So, if you thought that was good,
lovely. Yes, very nice.
Some of the little snotlings there with the mini squig.
Just seeing the old sculpts in the old paint styles, but with like modern day skill levels.
And
do you know what? And the other thing about those is, absolutely. And the other thing about those as well is that they look bigger than they really are. And I'm not just meaning because it's a big picture and stuff, but because of how well they're painted, you think, oh well, that must be sort of quite a large miniature. But actually, especially with the old ones, they weren't. I mean, that's the size on the ogre now is the size of
Sigmarine.
A Stormcast Eternal or a Chaos Warrior.
It's a 40 mil base.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Brilliant.
God,
yeah, exactly. It's excellent. That's wonderful painting.
Yeah, really good. I love the stripes on the trousers.
Lovely. Yeah, great. Wow. Look at those shields.
It's getting so much better. Each one I'm putting up is getting so much better.
It's just that I sometimes miss this kind of like vibrancy.
Yeah.
And it might just be my childlike brain that loves primary colours.
This is true. Red being one of them.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I love the fact that the one on the left's got a plaster on his nose.
Oh my God.
Oh, he does.
He has, isn't he? Oh.
Brilliant.
So well done.
Look at that little cheeky chappy. And the banners as well.
I miss paper banners, actually.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
I love them. No, I just love them. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I think they're really good.
That's the whole gang together. Look at the one on the left, the troll on the left there, unit filler. Really, really old troll.
Wow.
It's really nice. It weighs more than his car, but it's worth it. Beautiful. Really nice stuff, Highland painting.
Brilliant. That's amazing.
And this is going to be right up your alley, Andy. So this chap, complete Mordheim kit bashes.
Oh, wow. Yes, it is.
So Weird Witticism on Instagram. So pretty much every single model is stripped back to the beginning and restarted.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
And then painted.
And then that's great.
Holy.
Love a Grimgas. Love a Grimdark.
Look at them.
They're cool, aren't they?
And painted.
It's just like the sort of Blanchitsu colorings as well.
Very. It could almost be Mordheim artwork.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
One thing I've realized, like ever since I've become more reliant on a 3D printer, I've kind of forgotten how good green stuff sculpting can be.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah, it's,
Like there's just something about it in there.
look at that. Very Dark Souls as well.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
man, that is just so cool.
Look at that. So basically, it's the hat and the hands. Everything else is green.
Man, you've got me thinking. You got me thinking about. Well, do you know what? I'm going to save that thought because I'm
Save
going to
that
reference
thought.
it. I'm going to save that thought. Wow, look at that.
I want to see that painting.
There you go.
Oh no, don't! I don't like it.
It's brilliant. It's honest to God. I'm
It's
detail
just
and the
great.
foresight to be able to make it like that. Brilliant.
I am going to be checking this person out.
Yeah. Weird witticism on Instagram.
No, I'm not on Instagram. But, I'll be checking this person out.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I'm going to go on Instagram just for this person. This is great.
So we've done a couple of different types. We've got some old school miniatures, we've got some new school miniatures, some completely kit bash miniatures. And
Excellent work.
And then I was approached by Hardstyle Miniatures. So we've featured some of his work before. He used to be called Beast Vampire Army, which I think was one of our first episodes down at the Hobby Show. We featured his Beastman, and he's just won a Best Painted for this new army.
Ooh.
Wow, nice.
I love a display board.
Yeah, especially with the backdrop as well. Look at that backdrop.
Yeah.
It's great.
Just love it. It's so vibrant, but at the same time dark.
Wow.
All the models
look at that.
just really, really come together, haven't they?
Just hold on a sec while we go quiet, while we look at these.
I know, right? Yeah, I thought. Oh no, wait, hang on. If people are listening to this on a podcast, we need to say something. So
It's, I mean, yeah. Talk about a limited autumnal palette. This is how you do it, isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised there's not
is
more
it even-
pumpkins on the bases,
That's true. Yeah.
but it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I think what's also amazing actually is about how you look at things like on the coach, which actually has blues, or you then have purples on the
fabrics and
purples on the fabrics with the dragon or whatever, and it doesn't. Nothing. It still works all together, even though they appear on different models or different units.
Yeah.
Yet it's all still tied together. You can say, "Oh yeah, that's definitely from the same army." Obviously, have a good basing and stuff.
I love the combination of the Curse City model as well as the Sepulchral Guard from Underworlds, and then also some Mirce, and then also the old metal coach. So
yes.
They've managed to. He's managed to tie it all together really well.
And a paper banner as well, mate. Look at that bottom left. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
There he is. Paper banner.
There you go. Paper banners are back. You had it here first. 2023.
Really smart. And again, looking back through his Instagram account, he's sculpted all the different things like the trees. He's added loads of different features to it. So I think that was one of the original spells from the Wood Elf kit. When the Sylvan Elf when it was our AOS, but he's managed to then
from the Wildwood,
yeah. And he's built his own little house there, a ruined house.
Cool.
Just really, really clever, and the attention to detail is amazing.
Excellent. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's a great
Congratulations,
army.
Really well done.
Yeah,
on
very well done.
Mm-hmm.
Another age, another army. So this is an idea that we've been floating around for a while. And what is it? What is another age, another army?
It is an entirely unique idea. No one's thought of doing this before. We are pioneers for this concept, where we, as a trio of hobbyists, all take an idea for a new army, and we over a number of months, we build this army and realize it to tabletop.
Exactly. So
This is
It's like a tale
of
multiple painters.
exactly.
Yeah.
So as Dan unsarcastically said, so we're going to do a new army, but we're going to do it over 12 months just to see how we get on. So again, we're all really, really busy. We've got Marmaduke's having a Kit Bash child. We've got Dan, who's got his YouTube channel. We've got me, who I've got commissions coming out of my ears. So doing another army is not what we need right now. But
Against our better judgment.
exactly. So it's a combination of collecting, customizing, painting, and then creating lore surrounding our armies. But we want you guys at home to get involved as well. So if you're starting a new army this year, we'd love to see different parts about it. We'd love you to discuss why you've chosen different things. So, first off, Dan.
Yeah.
Why have you chosen dwarfs again?
Feels like a very accusatory question. So yeah, why am I collecting an army that isn't goblin related? I mean, it's got goblins in it, right?
They're not goblins, they're hobgoblins.
That counts. I think they're vassals, actually. No, so infernal dwarves, chaos dwarves, like big hats have been like part of my wargaming identity for absolute ages. Once upon a time came into possession of an entire metal big hat chaos dwarf army, and I played games with them during 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy.
Nice.
Using the Ravening Hordes book.
Mm-hmm.
That's a blast from the past.
That was.
And like I've carried these models with me through the decades, and like I'm in a position playing Night Age. It's like, oh, I can actually use them now. And like I was waiting for the ID lab to finish and so on and so forth, but I just kind of got to a point where I was like, I never wanted to commit these very expensive little bits of metal to an army, because it's like, oh, if I don't want them to have great weapons, I don't want to cut these models up, I don't want to use blunderbusses, I don't want to cut the models up, etc., etc. And then, but like, I converted an army back then. I wasn't really happy with it because I'm a bit of a nonsense perfectionist. But like this look, the big hats, the ringlet beards, red and gold armor, fire, like it's just that's just a thing that resonates with me. Like they've teased it in the Total War games, still not released them. It's just there's just something about the Chaos Dwarfs that I just absolutely loved. But yeah, I've just not been able to kind of work on it. I've not been able to act on it until now. So I found a Patreon by the name of Fazabel, who has released he has a Patreon that releases naughty dwarf models in the style of the 5th edition big hats. And as soon as I was able to get my hands on those in STL form, chuck them into Blender, I was able to run riot. So part of my problem was like I had big hats with big axes. Like, what do I use them as? I can't use them as Citadel Guard, for example, because they haven't really got anything that's like a great weapon intensive. But if I make masks to kind of lean in on Games Workshop's like Forge World's representation of those Chaos Dwarves, and I can have helmet wearing Citadel Guard, I can have barefaced warriors, I can model them to have one-handed weapons instead of great axes. I can actually have slave orcs. So Avatars of War have an amazing Patreon, which I'm signed up to. They released a modular orc kit, so jumped into that, had to do some pretty horrendous research.
Yes.
And managed to model my own slave orcs.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It was a bit unfortunate on the timing for modeling those slave orcs, but there we go. I needed, because I had these STLs, I could then do skull masks to create my immortals.
Yeah, really good.
And really base them on the immortals from the Zack Snyder 300 film.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas my army is going to be red and gold, the immortals are black and gold. One of the things that Forge World introduced to the world, which the ID book has taken, is big bull centaurs. So cool. I just got some bull centaur STLs and made them big.
It's brilliant.
Job done. So now I've got 50 by 75 mil base, big hat, bull centaurs. It's just all of it. As soon as those files became available,
Yeah,
I knew that now was the time.
that was the time.
It's unfortunate because in the balance patch that came out in December, a lot of the stuff for the Vermin Swarm that I had issue with got fixed. So I could have gone with the Vermin Swarm, but no, I don't have to paint as many models with an ID.
It's true.
So
12.
yeah, model a month.
They look really nice.
But yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just all of the stuff from the for some reason I love Bastions. I think it's because I enjoy people hating me. But somewhat I found someone had created this particular file on Thingiverse as an Infernal Dwarf Bastion. I went in, added a few more bits and bobs, printed off 2 of them, and then got shamed into only using 1. I knew I had to take a Kadim Titan because everyone loves a big centerpiece model. I found a fire elemental. I cannot remember who made it. I feel really bad for that, but I was then able to, using Blender, kind of repose it to make it look like it was walking, so it fill out its base more.
Yeah, it's looking good.
And then I can fill in kind of all the gaps. And just overall, I think of all of the things that I'm most excited about with this army is that I get to take a Lamassu.
That's true. I'm not sure I've got a photo of your Lamassu, but
the characters are fun as well. Like the BSB and the Prophet on screen, I enjoy kind of bodging those together. The Prophet on a seat of authority, so carried around by 4 hobgoblins, and some hilariously oversized on fire banners.
yes,
for the BSB. He's even got his own little helmet, helmet fire as well.
Amazing.
They look brilliant, mate. Really, really good. I can't wait to start seeing them.
Yeah, so just gotta get them printed off and see how we go.
Okay, so goals, Mr. Dan.
So is this for like the next
until
quarter?
March?
Well, I suppose I'll be printing and assembling the Citadel Guard, printing and assembling the Overlord.
That's what you chose earlier when you spoke to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I'd like to, if I can get the Citadel. So the Bastion, spoilers. The Bastion goes in the Citadel Guard unit. It's got a character up top. That's like my centerpiece infantry unit.
Yeah.
So if I can get that unit done, that'd be good. Yeah. So I think that's what we're going to do.
The Overlord, is that the one on the bull, the Lamassu, or is that a different thing?
No, so it might actually end up being a Vizier, but it's the character who rides round on the Bastion.
Okay, yeah.
Because the Lamassu is just like a mini mage.
Yep. It's not actually a character, is he?
Not really. Sort of, he is, but not. Yeah, he's not a character that is on a mount. Yeah, the Vizier. The idea, like, he's a proper like drive me closer so I can hit him with my sword kind of guy. I just love the idea that just this trundling tank tower thing. That's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be awesome. Brilliant. Thank you, Dan. Marmaduke.
Hello.
Empire.
Yeah. So back a few years ago, Cities of Sigmar had a book actually before they even had a book come out for AOS, I got into Age of Sigmar, and which I really love, by the way. And yeah, it's good fun. I really enjoy it. And I went, I fancy having an Empire-esque army. And so I bought a ton of Empire models. And then and you could, at the time, you could only take them as the sort of alliance, the Order alliance. And then they brought out the Cities of Sigmar book, and then it was pretty shit. And then, well, it wasn't shit. It was okay. And then GW just power upped elves, like Lumineth Realm Lords were just good, and then the Sea Elves were good. Then Lumineth Realm Lords were just better. Then Tzeentch just ruled the meta. Then they brought out 4 giants, which then just sort of like took over the whole of 2021 into 2022 for like 2 years, whatever. And my Cities of Sigmar, all my Empire models for Age of Sigmar were like, well, these just go into a box because they're not going to do anything. And then when we had this idea, and I say we had this idea, this has got absolutely nothing to do with Paul Sawyer, who invented A Tale of Warlords, rejected me for a job last year. Sorry, in 2021, which he did. But I thought, do you know what? I think I want to go back to that super old school 17th century idea of an empire army. And then and it's pretty much as simple as that. Back to with the release of like Old World as well. So here we got, these are the flagellants, which I was originally going to use for my AOS Marauders, but then they first had Marauders as really good, and they were OP. They were horrendously OP. So I was like, let's have 20 of those. But Marauder models, as everybody knows, are terrible. They're like out of proportion, and the barbarian models they haven't updated them yet. They're just really bad. So I was like, well, what I'll do, flagellants, I'll put chaotic sort of like weapons, and I'll put chaos heads on them around bases. Boom. Then they nerfed them into oblivion, and they were like, well, now they're just rubbish. And the new book came out end of last year, and they are there's just loads of other really good stuff in the book. And so now I've got 20 flagellants, and flagellants in EOS are annoying and great, and I really like that. I just think they're cool. Like, unit of 25, 30, and they just don't budge. And they do a bit of dying, well, they do a lot of dying, but they still don't budge, and that's just really cool. I like that. So they're going to be put on square bases. I'm going to de-chaosify some of the weapons and some of the look, and put them back to just being flagellant-like. With that, and now we go into, again, as you can see, they're all on round bases. So I will be putting the 4 corners on. But going back to what we were saying not sort of 20 minutes ago, or what you were showing me not 20 minutes ago, I've had 2 ideas thematic-wise. One was actually 3 ideas, sorry. One was sort of like a pirate theme, put them on a ship, that sort of thing. 2 was to put them on like battlements, as though they were defending a castle. And then 3 was like a Mordheim, like really dark John Blanche-esque Mordheim. Nice. And I wasn't. I could not think what I was going to do. I couldn't decide, but I wanted to do all 3, but then also just wanted to do one of them. And then, having seen what you showed me 20 minutes ago, I am pretty much now, having seen our chap there from it with his Mordheim-esque stuff and that theme, I'm going down that. I'm going to do dark, dingy Mordheim stuff.
It's gonna look good.
So these are some old school Chaos Warriors, which are going to, Chaos Knights, which I'm going to take the heads off and I'm going to put some Empire heads on. And they're going to be the beginning of, the armored units, because I think they've got a wolf, the old sort of like Ulrich,
Yes.
Wolf of, is it Wolf of
White
Ulrich?
Wolf.
White Wolf, sorry, thank you. Stuff like that. So I think they'll sort of like bit of like swap. They don't look too chaosy once you sort of take the heads off,
Take the spikes off.
Yeah.
take the spikes off, and change the banner up a little bit. So that's why I put them there, just because
it's quite a Teutonic sort of knight look, isn't it? So quite heavy with furs, but also again the heavy armor.
Exactly. And actually, if you look at like the horses, when you look at they tended up back in sort of 6th edition, those were pretty much the generic horses that if you had plate armor horses, whether if you were a human race, that was the horse you got, whether you were Chaos or Empire.
You got a different horse head, didn't you?
Yeah, and that was pretty much it. So that's quite handy. Then we've got some great swords, classic great swords at the front. Those at the back are someone had given me like 10 militia. And then I just gave them great swords, so I could buff up and have like 20 great swords. So they will be the Imperial Guard. They'll be IG, and
Really
and I was sort of like that banner. You'll see there's sort of like a wolf emblem. I was just sort of like back years ago when I was sort of just practicing with it. Just having a little sort of play around with sort of like different sort of emblems and stuff, and I just found some cool things that people have done on Pinterest, because I haven't had an original thought since 1997. So I thought, that'll work.
It's quite a specific date.
And then this bad boy, which I just think is just a great model.
It's one of the better of the Empire models.
It really is, yeah. So again, square base, dark. I'll darken it down. I'll really mute the colors. I'll put some green stuff going around, bit of cork, and we'll Mordheim-esque that bad boy up.
It's gonna look awesome.
Given the size of that model, do you reckon you'll use it as a dragon, or?
No, I'm going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it as the Griffin. I don't like proxying. I love the fact that we're agnostic as as a gaming system, and that people have that option. For me, I'm not WYSIWYG, but at the same time, I wouldn't play that as a dragon or anything. What I will do is I'll have that as a big bad Imperial Griffin, and is it Imperial Griffin? Yeah, I'll have that as a big old Griffin. If I want a dragon, which who doesn't? Because dragons have the new dragon, the EOS dragon, pretty good now. Because of the rules update. Nice. I am going to treat myself later on in the year, once I've completed my task, to getting a nice big dragon. And and I'm going to make that a really big sort of centerpiece. Try and get one that's going to sort of like wrap around a tower or something like that. It's, sort of like that's maybe sort of on its hind legs or is, Then we got some rockets. I love artillery. So, and then sort of same rocket, and then organ gun on the right, and then it's the dwarven organ gun on the left. Whether that one actually ends up getting used in this, or it's just an old school one, I don't know yet.
That's fair
enough. And then that's one that I guess something I just haven't done anything with yet, but that will probably be the
Arcane Engine.
Arcane Engine, yes, rather than the Shrine. The other one.
Again, I did that model when there was the Sigmar Blood campaign for the end of the End Times. It was one of my favourite of the Empire models. I really enjoyed painting that one.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's a great sculpt. So, and then the classic steam tank.
There we go.
So,
Is it a metal
yeah.
one? Are they
No,
all metal?
no. Well, I mean, there are metal ones out there, but this one's a plastic one.
Okay, so it's not a risk to life and limb.
No murder charges if you drop it from a particular height.
Imagine if you stand on it
Yeah.
barefoot, right?
Oh my god, yeah. But yeah, so that's the. I think that's everything. But yeah, so goals for this cycle will be decide on theme for the army. Well, I think I've achieved the first goal.
That's good.
So
Yeah,
we'll
you're
go.
beating us.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but it's because of your help. Rebase and repaint general and steam tank. So when I say the general, that will be the person on the griffin. So it'll be
nice.
muting the colours.
Just the chap or the griffin as well?
Yeah, chap and griffin. They all come as one. Oh, yeah, sorry. And then if rocket battery, volley gun, and then whilst I haven't pictured it, I have actually 2 cannons to. Not that I'll do both, but I'll have at least 1 cannon.
You've got an assortment.
Yeah, it's just to give options as well, because I'm not always going to want to do the same lists all the time.
Cannons have dropped clip wings now, haven't they?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Awesome.
Still kind of scary.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, thank you very much. It'd be good to see them on Square Base. See them all grimdark. It's not very often you see Empire armies looking grimdark.
No. I think there's some people's Empire armies that are out there are excellent, and they're very vibrant, and they're brilliantly painted. And I think this one, it'll give me a good excuse to go back through the John Blanche artwork to look at the yellows, the sort of black and white checkered, the muted reds, because he never uses blue. John Blanche never uses blue anyway, so
it's understandable.
Which is a shame, because I think I have about 12 different shades of blue. So if anyone needs any blue, I've got a few.
Here's your man.
I won't be using them for 2023.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
And then me. So I'm going to do some demons because I want an army that can actually win. Basically,
you mispronounced goblins there. Actually,
I know, exactly. Many a times you've tried to convince me to do hobgoblins. I'm not going to do it.
Joe's going to be distraught, mate.
Never mind. So the reason I want demons. Every single army that I've done is normally either entirely combat focused or goblin focused. So I wanted to try and do something that's completely different, that can take part in lots of different phases of the game. So extremely high power magic, but also the capability of damage, and also quite maneuverable and fast. And I saw these models, and
these are great. I love them.
They're so cool.
The masks are kind of wiggy.
Yeah. That's the whole thing I like about them. It's just they look inept, but at the same time, they're still demons.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Like, because that's what I mean. I know you said that before, and that's really interesting, because the thing is that they have masks. They've modelled masks to wear as a sort of tribal uniform, and I find that really interesting as their own narrative.
Exactly.
I think it's great.
The sculpts are fantastic. Lord of the Print is one of my favourites at the moment. But you've got the different options. You've got the hand scythes, where the hands have just been cut off and replaced with a blade. But I love the spears and just the different angles of the spears you can get. And they look, as I said, they just look at rest, even though they're demons. They're just
Yeah.
apart from him who's throwing a grenade, but they're all gangly. They're all not the best fighters in the world, but they're still demons.
So what would you use this
So these would be
I was about to
myrmidons.
ask,
Myrmidons?
right,
Okay.
Nice.
So they're not as chonky as your lemures, but they're
Yeah.
not as wimpy as your imps.
No.
So these would be my
Yeah.
myrmidons.
Good
And
choice.
I'd have a unit of those, and in that unit, I'd have an omen,
Yeah, that's great.
Ooh.
which
Oh,
is
it's great.
quite cool. So again, he looks like your big papa demon, who
Mm.
is like your base troop demon, but your general. And I just think the sculpts of those are just awesome.
I mean,
Really, really smart.
it's just, I mean, for obvious reasons, it's just so dynamic. And yeah.
But if you imagine him on there on the right hand side in a block of the 21 myrmidons with spears coming out everywhere, and it looks like he's jumping out of the unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
Out
cool.
of curiosity, because you're 3D printing it,
Mhm.
do you reckon you're going to end up building an army list to fit like Lord of the Prince SEL choices, or do you reckon you'll go scavenging for stuff that can be used?
So luckily with
That
Lord of the
makes
Print, they've pretty much got everything covered.
Okay, nice.
I've gone through their back catalogue and earmarked a lot of things.
Nice.
A lot of the models that they don't have sculpts for are things that I don't think I'll be using anyway, which are things the veil serpents and some of the like imps and things, and the more niche sort of demon units. I've also had a look at one-page rules, and this is the the main city that's under siege bases, and that's the basing scheme that I'm going to go for. Is that these demons have come through, almost like they're purging the Vatican. So all your marble floor and stuff like that, but you've got your debris everywhere. You've got, it's going to look really cool.
That's great. Love it.
And that's a
I think what's great about things like this as well is that where you have something like those wheels, broken wheels, they can just, especially with the painting scheme, they can just pop out even from the base,
exactly,
and can have a real like lovely impact when you're looking at the miniature as a whole.
I'm going to try and paint the demons themselves horror sort of style. So then to have the clean-ish basing of like the white marble with then a couple of bits of things, it will really pop against it.
What would be your thingy color, your spot color?
Probably red.
Yeah.
So white with red, and then flesh color demons. Maybe something else, but I'm not quite sure yet. Once I get some printed and get some test schemes out, I'll definitely think. But at the moment, it's just to build the army and then paint. But that's the idea so far. So my goals for this cycle, I'm going to print and assemble 20, which you've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
Print the 2 omens to Savars, because I'm going to eventually have 2 units with an omen in each, because I like that. And then I'm going to print the bases for all the units, for these 2 units anyway. So that's my goals for this cycle. And then hopefully we'll start looking at colour schemes the month after.
Busy.
A little bit of a surprise for you guys. I've been in contact with a chap called Macamunga, who is Craig McAnany. So he is Spotty Dog Wargaming.
Yes.
And
excellent.
He has decided that he wants to join us on our little journey.
Cool.
And so he is starting a new army this January with us, and he'll be doing KOE. So the reason why he's doing it is because he had the 5th edition box, which was Lizardmen and Bretonnia.
Oh,
his dad
yes.
was
Brilliant.
Bretonians and he was Lizardmen. And so he wants, as a bit of a nostalgic kick, to go back into doing that style of army. And he also wants to really challenge his painting style.
Okay.
So this is the same Craig that won the Breakthrough Best Painting.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
No,
cool.
exciting. Yeah.
He's got his YouTube channel, guys, Spotty Dog Wargaming, which they'll also be doing a event in June this year, up in Element Games. So
Ah,
keep an eye
yes.
on
Is that on the 4th and 5th of June?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is some of his inspirations, which you can probably remember. This
Beautiful.
It's gonna be good.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Very
Isn't it?
good, isn't it? Yeah.
It's going to be good. There we are. So he wants it to be bright, vibrant, but also feudal. All the banners, all the tabards and tapestries everywhere.
Nice.
So
Individual, I guess. Yeah, individual. So it's going. Is he going to do every rider and horse individual heraldry?
I hope so. He hasn't confirmed that with me yet.
Hmm.
But these are some of the things that we found on the internet of just ideas to go with. So some of your men at arms, some of your knights forlorn. I remember reading the White Dwarfs with these pictures, which is
They're great, aren't they?
25 years ago now. But that's low and core with then the triangle lance formation. Awesome. And then some of the newer artworks.
I mean, look at that drawing.
Just really cool. Nice and vibrant. More recent, this is the 7th edition Men at Arms.
Yeah.
And again, just the idea of having that night charge. Really, really good. So he's gone out and he's got the Lost Kingdom.
Ah, nice.
Ooh.
Very
So,
lovely.
Really strong start from Craig. So if he's going to go with the painting each model individually, they are perfect. Absolutely perfect.
The amount of detail on those models makes my heart skip.
Yep. Just lovely.
Wow. Look at
Really,
that.
really smart.
It's lovely. Look at that banner as well. I mean, that's just.
Mhm.
Is that like I wouldn't say embossed, but do you think that's raised the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
that's
nice.
incredible.
Just yeah, these are your Knights Resplendent.
Mm.
So yeah, like you've got the Divine Lancelet. It's glowing at the top. Really, really smart. And like the fact that he's got a mini harpsichord as his musician.
Yeah, they're really enjoying riding into battle.
Oh, yeah.
I like that people are sort of like finding joy in war.
It's true.
In fact, most of their musicians are actually. I mean, even,
he's got a little music box.
It's a happy little jaunt, isn't it?
Yeah.
little jaunts are going.
He's doing a jig on
Thrash
his way to cut an
music
orc in
band.
half. Really smart. That's your relic.
That's the
That's
musician
great.
after he made it to combat.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he didn't have a sword and was just trying to play the music box
Yeah.
in the middle of a load of savage orcs.
Bludgeon orcs to death with a hurdy-gurd.
Yeah, he played the wrong note. Your Enchantress. Really, really smart. Again, painting that marble will be lovely.
Yeah, it's great. It's like, look at that for a model. I mean, that is a fantastic. Well, I mean, I know,
So
but
if you look at the lightning coming from her hand, you can see it struck the marble. And it's actually exploded the marble everywhere.
Oh God.
I am excited to see that printed.
So am I. So am I. There's the Battle Santa Barrett.
That's cool as well.
It's just stunning prints. Really stunning.
It's a real sort of like Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, if this is something that Craig wants to do to challenge his, then I wish him all the best of luck because this will look lovely.
Wowzer, yeah. I don't think I want to play anymore.
Just take a really cheesy list. That's what you got to do.
Exactly. Okay, so goals for Craig is to print and assemble an Aquitaine Lord, and then to print and assemble a unit of feudal knights. So seems like quite a simple task, but again, they're quite difficult prints.
Is he? Did he say? So you may have already said. Is he going? Does he still have any of his miniatures from? Sixth edition?
Sadly, not. No, I believe his dad sold them, which is why he wants to get back into the nostalgia. Get
I see. So it's more of a no, and I respect that.
Yeah. So again, good luck to Craig. Thank you for coming along with the journey, and we will no doubt see some more stuff on Spotty Dog Wargaming as well.
Very excited to have Craig along. Thank you. That's amazing.
So, if you're interested in starting a new army project, we progress. Send your pics and ideas to us on any of our social media links. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Please like, share, subscribe if you're enjoying what you're seeing. And please follow along for more hobby content. Stay safe. See you again.
Bye.
See you later.